Hello everybody, my name is Maxim and I'm from CodeJig team. In this video, we will create an appointment management application just from scratch. Our business case will be an appointment management application for a barber shop. And as for the design of the application, we tried to conform to the informative website of some existing barber shop. As you can see right here, it is black and white style, and the same thing we did for our appointment management application. And right now, let's check out how our application works. As for the user, he needs to indicate his personal information first, enter the email and his phone number, just in this way. After clicking the button continue, and now the tab with the preferred time will be open for him. He can indicate some preferred date, for example, let it be September 18, and he can choose some preferred time, just in this way. Let it be he is interested in those hours. When he clicks continue, he sees some slots available for his preferred time. And if there is no slot for his preferred time, he will just see the list of all the appointments. And then he clicks on that, confirms, and the email with the details was sent to his inbox. And right now, let's check how the way it works from the administrator of the application side. He has two pages. The first one is open for appointment management. He can see here some created appointments with the information about a user and whether this appointment is taken or not. He can add new manually, or he can use the page fill working time, which will generate slots for him automatically. Let it be from October 1st to October 16th. Then administrator selects some working hours, or he create new ones, just in this way, and pressing the button create slots, and working time was added, and those options are right now displayed in here in this main table. And right now, guys, let's try to create this application from scratch by ourselves. From dashboard, let's click on the button create new app, enter the application's name. It's going to be barber's appointment. Just like that, we choose blank app as we create our application from scratch, and press on the button create app and wait for some time until it's generated. A builder was created. And to start developing our application, click on this button, and here we are in our app builder. The first thing we need to do is to create the first web page of our application. It's going to be a create appointment page. Create it, and we move to the web page editor. Let's at first make this group box suitable for our image. We change the style for none, just in this way, and let's add some tabs, as all the navigation is done with tabs in our application. The first one, the second one, and the third one. The first one is going to be for personal information. The second one is going to be for preferred time. And the third one is going to be for confirmation, just in this way. Let's add some according fields to our personal information tab. First, we add a group box, split it in two parts. The first one is going to be for the image, and the second one for our fields, and add according fields. The first one is going to be for name. The second one is going to be for the surname. Create. Let's move it right here. Then one for email. Let's call it in this way. And for the phone number. just like that. Create it. Let's also make all those fields required ones. Go to validation and tick on required. Just like that. And the same thing for email and the phone number as well. Yes, we're done. And let's change the style of this group box to none as well. Appearance, style, none. Right now, let's add some fields to our preferred time tab. Let's add again a group box, one for image, one for the fields. Split it and set the style to none. And then let's add according fields. The first one is going to be date. Let's do it like that. Go to date and time folder and drag it in here. Let's call it preferred date. Preferred date, create it. And the second one is going to be for time. However, we are not going to add a time field to our web page, as it is more about working hours, not as a time value. And this is why, as a user can select multiple time slots to view some appointments available for this time, we will add a multi-select list to our web page. We add it, and let's call it preferred time. Create it. And we can manually add different options in here in Sid Instances folder, or the manager can add it just from the web page. And we're done with it. Right now, let's also add 2 buttons to continue buttons. The first one is going to be for this, general, continue. And let's add some icon. Save and choose the icon. It's going to be arrow. And like that. And the same thing for this here. We add a button, name it continue, and choose some icon. Appearance folder, change the icon color, and again, arrow, just like that. As for those 2 tabs, preferred time and confirmation, we should make them hidden, as they will only appear after the user indicates the personal information and then after indicating the preferred time. This one is going to be hidden, and the same thing for confirmation, hidden. As for confirmation, we are going to create this table a bit later. The page will be pretty much similar. Let's create it, appointment admin. Let's call it in this way. And the page will be pretty much similar. As for the fields, we will just add, again, those name fields, non-translatable text. As for the name, the next thing is just going to be for our surname. Then for email, and the same thing as for the phone number, just like that. Phone number. Then we will add again a date field to this web page. Let's call it appointment date. And we will add a time list again. However, it will not be a multi-select list, as one slot can have only 1 hour. This is why we will get a lookup list, because we have already created type of this time type. We select our preferred time type, and let's call it just appointment time. Just in this way, and create it. We should also add for the administrator the Boolean type, a Boolean field, which will say whether this appointment is taken or not. It's going to be yes, no, and we add a checkbox, and we will call it taken. Create, and let's save our web page. And right now, guys, we are ready to add this table to our Create Appointment web page. Let's edit it, move to our Confirmation tab. Let's add another group box in here, just like that. Split it in two, and this one is just gonna be like that. And let's add this table the way we add a table, which is basically a collection because it displays a lot of elements. We add a collection field. Let's call it available appointments. And we will select appointment administrator data type. We create it. And right now, let's just drag it to our web page. And this way, let's remove it out of this group box, and this one is going to be deleted. Let's also manage it so that the user would not be able to add or delete, and we also hide checkboxes, just in this way. However, as you can see, all of the information is displayed in here, all of the fields that are for administrator. And we do not need to do this. We just only need to have our time and appointment date. And right now we are going to edit the way this comes out. Let's save our web page at first. To change this, we should move it first to the data type of our admin, appointment admin type. And right now we're just going to add it the table view of this data type. We should add it first, the first one, which will become the default one, table. The default one should be for the administrator. Let's call it admin table. Create it. And the second one, right here, we just did not manage anything. We leave it as it is. We display all of the fields. And right now, let's add one for the user. We add again a table view. Let's call it appointment user and indicate that this is table view, just like that, and we create it. And as for this view, we'll leave only the fields like appointment date and appointment time, just in this way. And let's save this progress and move to our web page, create appointment, and change the view of this table. Go to Confirmation tab, and right here, we just select the view of this table, appointment user table. And as you can see, it looks much better right now with only appointment date and appointment time. And let's save our web page. And right now, guys, we are ready to add some actions to our web page. The first one is going to be for this button, continue, which will check if all of those personal information fields are filled. And afterwards, it will just redirect us to this preferred time tab, and beforewards it will reveal it and remove the hidden class. Let's create an before server action, which is responsible for client side, because we'll be using some JavaScript code, and let's call it move to time, just in this way. Create it, and right now we are redirected to the code block editor. We will at first add an if block, just in this way, and in this if block we will check if any of the field is empty or unfilled. We will add some end block, switch it to or, and we will add 3 of them, as we will have 4 conditions: name, surname, and email and phone number. And right now we will just start comparing. Let's add comparison blocks, just like that. Duplicate this one, and this one as well. And right now we should get those value of those fields. We'll go to item variable, which is this page, and select name. Then we select the, let it be phone number. Then let's go for email, get it, and the same thing for the surname. Surname variable, get it. And as all of those values, all of those fields are string fields, we will compare them with empty string. Go to text folder and let's just drag them in here, just in this way. And if any of those fields are empty strings, we will throw an error message, just like that, which we will write, and please fill in all of the required fields, just like that. And then if all those fields are filled, we will add an else block. And in this else block, we will reveal our tab for time. And we will actually just get to this tab. To do this, we will use code, native code. And in this code, we will at first remove the class hidden, this, get access to jQuery library. We will find this element. However, to find this element, this tab has to have some sort of identifier that we need to add. To do this, let's at first move to our web page. Web pages, create appointment, and let's add identifiers to our preferred time tab and confirmation tab. Go to advanced folder and add an ID. Let it be the first one is going to be tab time. And for confirmation, let it be tab confirm, just in this way. And right now, let's move to our code block editor and write some specific syntaxes. The first one is going to be for revealing the class. We write that data identifier, which we just set identifier equals to our tab time. We find it, and right now we're just gonna call function remove class and indicate the class which is hidden. And right now, as for the clicking on this tab, we write pretty much the same. L find, use data identifier equals to our tab time, just like that. Tab time. We should also specify that it is it should move to the class somehow, and we again call the function, which is going to be just click, just like that. And let's save our progress in this way. Right now we are ready to create another action, which is going to be for the button continue, but on the preferred time slot, preferred time tab. The first action we're going to add is going to be the server one, as we'll be using some Java tools. Create new action, and let's call it check time, which is going to do some actions after checking those two fields, preferred time and preferred date. Create it, and we are redirected to the code block editor. Generally, guys, this function, when the user clicks on this button, the action inside this button will filter and fill with some working hours with available slots this table on confirmation tab. This is why this action will set some value to this table. Let's at first create a collection of type of this table. It's appointment admin collection, and let's call it as a result somehow, just in this way. And at first, we will fill this collection with everything. So we go to this available appointments collection, and we set it some new value. We will be using queries blocks. We added first a word block, and then indicate that data type that we're going to string through. It's going to be our appointment administrator. We get it just in this way. And let's call the variable inside it appointment. And at first, we're going to fill this collection with items filtered by the date that user specified and whether this appointment is taken or not. To do this, we will add first an AND block and then two comparison blocks, just in this way. And we're going to check that the first condition is going to be if the appointment taken is false. Get this one. And afterwards, we're going to check if the appointment date equals to our result. Appointment date equals to the date that user indicated. It's going to be preferred date, just in this way. Right now, we should set some final value to our available appointments collection. First case, we need to check if our collection result that was filtered by time and date is not empty. We add a comparison block and we're going to use a bit of Java code. Just in this way, Java, go to our result collection dot size. If it's not 0. However, as we're using some native code, we need to create a system integer variable and set it the value of 0. Let's call it like that. And we set it to our number 0, just like that. And let's get this variable right now and we compare it. If it is 0, we throw an error message, an info message, an alert, and write that no available appointments for this time. No appointments available for this time, just like that. And we set our available appointments collection be this value, however, without filtering by date, just like that. Only filtering by whether the appointment is taken or not. Then, if the user just clicks on the button continue without indicating any date and time, so we add an AND block, two comparison blocks, just in this way, and we check if our preferred date, if our preferred time, get this, are not 0, are not null. Drag this one in here and this one in here. We again set this collection the same value, but we do not throw any message. And else, if the collection result is not empty and there are some available appointments for the suitable time for the user, we set this collection the value of our result. We get this collection. And right now, let's save our progress. Right now, we should add an action which will redirect the user to the next step and will reveal it with the confirmation tab. To do this, we'll move to our button, continue, and we will add an after server event as we're going to use some JavaScript code, create it, and let's call it move to confirmation, just in this way, and we create it. And we are redirected to the call log editor, and we're just going to copy the code from move to time function because it's pretty much the same. We just need to change the date identifier which we created, and in our case it is tab confirm, and the same thing in here, tab confirm, just like that. and let's save our progress. And right now we are ready to add some actions to our confirmation tab. The first thing we need to add is gonna be a button which will be responsible for confirmation. Let's add it right here and let's call it confirm, just in this way. And let's add also an icon, change its color, just like that. And the icon is gonna be check, just like that. And by default, this button will be hidden, and whenever the user clicks on some appointment, some slot that he wants to book, we will reveal this button. This is why we go at first to hide this button. And at first, we're gonna add it some class so that then we would reveal this button using JavaScript code. Let's name this class confirm, and let's save our progress. And right now we are ready to add the final action to our confirm button, which will send the email and do it all like that. We go to our web pages, create appointment, and move to the button confirm. We will add a server action as we're going to use some Java tools. And let's call it create appointment, as this action will actually create appointment, and let's get redirected to the call block editor. At first, we will send all the information, all the personal information of the user to our administrator. So we will add a for loop and get it. And for each element, let it be like that. We will add a where block at first and indicate the data type that we're going to stream through. It's going to be our appointment for administrator. Get it. Let's name it appointment. And we're going to filter it by the condition that this appointment is equal to the clicked row of the user, which is in our case, the selected slot. Get it? And we compare it with our appointment, just like that. And we're going to set this element to the name. We're going to set this item name. Then the same thing for surname. Let's get the surname element surname. We set it. And the same thing for email and phone number. Let's get this variable and go to element phone number, show element and phone number. We set it to our item phone number, which user indicated, and for email. Get it, and we set to our element email the value of our email. Just in this way, we should also update that this slot is taken. So we go to our element taken, we set it, and taken is going to be equal to true, just like that. And we are going to update our instance. We're going to update our element, just in this way. And right now, guys, we are ready to send the email to the user about the fact that he confirmed his appointment. We have a built-in function email sending. However, it is connected to some Boolean variable, because this function returns true if the email was sent and false otherwise. We call this Boolean is sent, and we will set it the value of our sendMail function, just like that. And right here at first, we should indicate who we send the email to. It's gonna be the email of our user. Then we're going to indicate display name. Let it be some barber appointment, or just barber shop. And the subject is going to be appointment, just like that. Then we need to create the text that we're going to send message to. We're going to create a formatted text, as we will add some values, not stale text. And we add it to body HTML so that it would be able to identify the tags, because we want to make, for example, the name and the surname bold or something in this way. And right now we are going to create those values just like that. Let's add some more, and let's connect the main string. Right now, this format function accepts just regular string, but in our app builder, as we support multi-language applications, string is basically an object with the key for the language and value for the translation. This is why, to connect those strings to our formats block, we need to create system strings at first. Create variable, and we'll create those system strings for each of our string values, which is going to be name, surname, time, and that's all. So we set this name value, our item name. Afterwards, we create the same string for the surname, and we set it the value of our item surname, and the same thing for time. Just gonna create a system string, and let's call it time, and we're going to set it some value. The value for time is stored in our clicked row selected slot. Then we go to time, and as we want to get the string value, we will also get the name of this time. Get it and connect it right here. And we will just set those values to our format function. The same for surname and for time. As for the date, as in our builder the date field is of type date, we will use the block create text with, let's remove one, which is going to transform the date type into string. And we again go to our selected slot and get the appointment date. And right now, let's write where we're going to send dr, then the name is going to be inside the bold tag. Dr is going to be 0, then 1 for surname. Then let's break line. And let's write you confirmed your appointment for, and again, let's write it inside bold tag, just like that. And over here, we're going to write our time 2 and our date 3, just like that. And let's again break line and write something like we are waiting for you, just like that. Done. And right now let's send some final message info that the user should check out his box. And let's write you confirmed your appointment, check out your inbox, just like that. And right now let's save our progress. And let's also create an after server event for our button. which is gonna redirect the user to the home page. Let's go to our confirm button, and after server action, create new. Let's call it move to home page. Just like that. Create it and get redirected to the call block editor. And right here, we're going to use link blocks. We're going to open this in the same browser tab and just put it to home page. And let's save our progress. And the last thing we should do towards our application's functionalities, we should add a web page for the administrator to automatically create some working time. The way we will do this, we created first a web page. We'll call it fill working time. Fill working time, just like that. Create it. And let's split this group box into 3 parts. Let's remove this one. And right here, we're going to add just 3 fields. The first one is going to be date from. Let's call it like that. Then it's going to be date to. Let's also indicate exclusive. And the next thing we're going to add is going to be a collection of our time, of a preferred time type, and let's call it working hours, just like that, and create it. And we should also add a button which is gonna generate those slots. We name it as create slots, just like that. And let's save our web page and add this according action to our button. Create new. And let's call it create working time. And we are redirected to the call block editor. At first, we'll create a variable of our local date, just like that. And we will write it as an initial from. The reason we create this variable is because we'll launch a loop and we're going to change this from value until it's not equal to value. And so we would not change the main from value. We will create a variable which will be equal to this one. And we set to this initial from value our from. We get it. And right now we are ready to launch a loop. We will repeat something while our initial from is not equal to our to variable, to exclusive. We get it until it is not equal. And right here, we're going to launch a for loop, and we're going to write it for each hour in the collection of hours that administrator selected. We get it. We're going to create a new variable of our appointment admin, and let's call it this slot, and to this slot appointment date, we will set the value of current initial from, just in this way, and to this slot time, we will set the value of this current hour, just in this way, and we're going to update to create a variable, to create this slot. Let's get it, and just like that. And after this for loop, we should update the value of our initial from, and we should just set it some new value, just in this way, and it's gonna be the result of plus with function, just switch it to days. We're gonna plus our initial from, and the amount of days is gonna be 1, just like that. And we connect it right here, and in the end we will just write that working time was added, just like that. Working time added, and let's just save our progress. And right now, guys, we are ready to publish our application. Let's just click on this button. Right now, we are ready to open our application and take a look at that. And before we actually start testing our application, we should organize those menus folder. We should only administrator allow to get into this appointment admin and fill working time folders. Then we should also remove those toolbars, and actually as you can see, the default links for those web pages are not for create new action, but for the list link. This is why we will need to change it. To do this, let's at first remove the toolbars. Let's remove it from this web page. Just remove the show toolbar. Let's save it. And the same thing for our fill working time page. Settings and remove show toolbar, just like that. And let's move to the menus folder, and let's remove everything and create the menu from scratch, just in this way. And the first thing we will add is a create new appointment button, just in this way. Create new appointment, it's done. Then we will add a folder for admin options. At first, let's change the permission, change to any of roles, and among those roles, we choose administrator. Then let's name this folder as admin options, just like that. And let's also look for some icon in this way. Let's choose something, let it be like that. And let's add those pages in here. So it's going to be for the fill working time, for the create new action, and it's going to be for the appointment admin. But for the appointment admin, we will add a list link because we want the administrator to instantly view the collection of all the appointments. And right now, let's save our progress and publish our application again. Let's just open our app and take a look at that. So for now, we have some more things to do. At first, those administrative pages are available for everybody, and we have this unnecessary toolbar in here, and on the page, fill working time as you see in here. And the default links are not to the create new action, they are to the tables. This is why we should go to the, let's first remove the toolbars. So we will remove the toolbar from this page, go to the setting button and remove show toolbar. Let's save our web page. Then the same thing is going to be done for our fill working time page. And go to the settings and show toolbar remove. And let's save this web page as well. And right now, let's move to our menus. Let's just remove all of them and create everything just from scratch. First thing we add is going to be the create appointment web page for create new action, just like that. The next thing is going to be we will add a folder for admin options. Let's name this folder as admin options, and let's choose some icon for that. Let's look for something, let it be like that. Then we're going to add 2 pages to this admin options folder. The first one is going to be fill working time for create new action, and the second one is going to be appointment admin, but this is going to be for list action. because we want the manager instantly to see all of the appointments. And right now, let's save our progress and publish our application again. But before we publish it, we should only allow users to should only allow administrator to get access to this folder. We just change the permission to in any overalls, and among those roles, we choose admin. And right now, let's save everything and publish our app. To create some sort of your custom design for the application, you should create a theme in this folder, theme editor. Just click on create new, and as we're going to stick to black and white design, we'll just create with such name and just click on create. And right here, you can manage all of the components of your web page. First, guys, let's style those components where the menu is located and this upper thing. We go to our header and let's choose the color for the header, which is gonna be, for example, like this. Then for the logo, where is this home button? We will choose something like this. And as for our left menu, we're going to choose complete black color. And also we should change the color for menu items, which are in here, and again, black. As for menu items, we should also add a hover when you drag your mouse on them. Switch from regular and let it be something like that, just in this way. Let's also style, for example, a button, which is gonna be the primary button, which is a default button when you drag something on your web page. To style this button, let's go to buttons folder and a primary button. Let's switch background color to black, just like that, and border color, let it be to black as well. Then, as we hover, as we put mouse on our button, let's switch the background color to a bit lighter one, the border color to the same one, and let's make a text of some red color, something like that. Let's save and let's test our button. As you can see, it looks just like that right now. And actually, let's style our group box. It should be the primary group box. So we go to group boxes, the primary group box, and let's change the header. The background color is gonna be black as well. Yeah, the border color is gonna be black as well, just like that. And as for the box, the border color should be black. In the same way, guys, I just tiled the tabs. And right now, let's publish our application to see the way it looks right now. Right now, guys, let's open our application to see the way it looks right now. As you can see, it is all much better. And we just need to add some more photos and our application is ready to use. However, you may have some very unique and special style needs that our theme editor cannot actually satisfy. For example, this border of this menu item is blue. And to actually change its style, just click on that element with the right click and inspect it. Then just look for that. So we have this class lee.active in here. Let's just copy this one. And we need to change the attribute border color. Let's copy this class and we can edit this item with our custom CSS folder. Let's just go to this folder and enter this class in here. Right now, let's add those attributes using CSS and let's enter border color. And for example, we want the border color to be, let it be some black, or let it be some gray color, just like that. Right? And after we name it, we should specify the important so that this color would replace the default one for our application. And semicolon, let's save and check whether it works right now. I just styled some more elements, and right now let's open our app and see the way it all looks. And as you can see, everything works out just fine. This one that we styled has changed its attribute to border color. And right now, guys, let's just finish up with loading some images to our web page. To do this, let's go to Resources and Custom Resources folder. And right here, we should upload some resources. Let's choose them just like that. And all of them are in here right now. And to not specify a resource for each page, we can just stick to for all pages. You can choose whether the resource should be used in loaded. And right now, let's add those resources to our web page. Let's go to our Create Appointment page and go to the Settings button and select some custom resources. Let's choose each of them just in this way, just like that. So let's open our app and see the final result of our application. And as you can see, everything works out just as we wanted it to be. We created a great design and the functionalities of our app are awesome as well. Let's log in as administrator. Everything works out pretty fine, as you can see it right here. And actually, our application is ready to use. This is all for today's video, guys. You just saw that CodeJig has numerous functionalities, and creating functional and customizable applications in CodeJig takes very little effort. In case you had any questions, you can write to our support department, or you can watch some of our other instructional videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.